FIBA AfroBasket, the final games of Group B here in Game Day 6. Tunisia, the two-time defending champions, taking on Madagascar. The winner tonight will indeed go third place and thus give themselves a chance in the play-ins to try and get to the quarterfinals. Well, all roads did begin on game day 1. Tunisia and Madagascar. It's been a very tough start to them in this very competitive group. But the one good thing for them is you only need one chance, and that final chance is today. The other games going on in Namibia, Cape Verde will be taking on Rwanda in their final group game, while Nigeria and Cameroon will battle to see who will be top of this group. The final game will see Cote d'Ivoire. It's going to be some exciting games going on here at the FIBA AfroBasket, as now we look at the standings. As mentioned, a victory for either Nigeria or Cameroon will see one of those teams directly qualify for the quarterfinals, which then positions 2 and 3, which either would be Madagascar or Tunisia in that third spot, go to the play-ins. Josh Bett alongside former head coach of Nigeria and FIBA AfroBasket champion 2015, Will Voigt. Coach, interesting situation now for the two-time defending champions if they lose today.
Well, a lot of pressure there for them. You know, this young upstart Madagascar team, really should have came away with a victory in their last game. So Tunisia trying to avoid being the last defending champion not to make the top 4 since 2013, when again Tunisia failed to reach the semifinals.
Of course, I think, we spoke about this earlier, and, you mentioned it. I did not know this. Two-time defending champions, Coach. I don't think they've ever gone winless when trying to defend, back-to-back titles.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they came here with a very different roster, a lot of new faces, but a rich tradition of winning, and a lot of pressure on this team to deliver here today.
And that final game for Madagascar, in which they went up against Cameroon, I mean, they should have won that game. They came very close. They had a very inspiring performance from Kiati, but Coach, foul trouble got them into serious problems early on.
Well, they don't have a lot of depth, especially with their bigs. Sitraka, Livasoa, so important to them, and we saw in that game Sitraka picking up, really some silly fouls that sent him to the bench, and it's going to be a struggle for them anytime one of those two players is not in the game.
Well, 3-time champions, but currently 2-time defending champions, Tunisia must win in order to give themselves a chance. There is the big man, Ochi. But, Coach, you got to think 1 for 5 from the three-point line just wasn't good enough. But now, basketball fans, the greatest part of the day will stand for the national anthems of both Madagascar and Tunisia. National anthems of both two very beautiful countries have been sung. This is the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket, the final game of this group. And remember, both games have heavy significance. Both Madagascar and Tunisia must win in order to remain here in Angola. We'll find out very quickly, but at the moment, we are going to get set to introduce three very important people for tonight's game. Well, we're very proud to say with our three referees coming from Costa Rica, we have Roberto Fernandez. From Rwanda, we have Jean Sava Ruhamiriza. And from Cote d'Ivoire, we have Hassan Kamate. A big thank you and a shout out to all of our officials who've done a magnificent job in all of our games, along with our commissioner and technical delegate. Tonight we have Komlan Abel Alexis Zochi. And now it's time that we look at the starting lineups, and you got to think Coach Dualan, there's got to be a lot of lessons, Coach, that he's probably learned about his players. Yes, they can compete, but they've got to be able to close games out.
Well, that's going to be part of the growing pains for this young team, but I'm sure he's really proud of the effort. You know, taking Cameroon right down to the wire, certainly had a chance to pull that game off. And hopefully that's given them some confidence that they could knock off the defending champions today.
Of course, Tunisia had a very disappointing game against, well, performance, I should say, against Nigeria prior to that. And I would imagine, Coach, that man right there, Kiati, he is going to be on Tunisia's scouting report. Specifically, how do you contain him? How do you make him give the ball up? But having said that, they're not a one-man show. They have Mamadi, they also have Citraka, and they probably, in my mind, could get a little bit more offensively from Lovasoa.
Well, you know, Kiati was tremendous, 29 points against Cameroon. Really dynamic and pick and roll. But, you know, Madi's a young talent, and we haven't seen that explosive game. There have been stretches for him, but, you know, maybe today's the day where he can put it all together.
Lovasoa did have a double-double against Cameroon, 11 points and 13 rebounds. Now, here's an interesting change from the starting lineup. We saw Hasina start in the last game. And Coach, defensively, I thought he was magnificent. But now you're seeing Ellie come in, so we'll see how that pans out here for Madagascar.
Yeah, well, Coach Duaglin looking for that right fifth player, so rotating different guys in. This time wanting Ellie shooting on the floor. You know, perhaps not seeing a matchup for Tunisia where he felt like he needed that primary defensive stopper.
Well, for Tunisia, there is the man who many would regard as one of the greatest point guards in the history of the FIBA AfroBasket. Because now it's very different. No Salah Medri, no Makram Ben Ramdan. He's got to be the go-to player, so I imagine we're going to see him in the backcourt, along with Jawad Jawadi, Bilal Jaziri, and Yassine Toumi, who, you know, as you mentioned, has good spells and then has spells where he's not unable to score. But look out for Bachir Ben Yahya coming, well, starting for them. So that means Archie will be coming off the bench tonight. And what do you make of that change with the big fella, Coach?
Well, Coach Marie changing things up quite a bit here. I thought Jaziri came in, gave them good minutes, was really competitive on the floor in that last game. I thought we might see Metnani get the starting nod, but you know, Oshi's been struggling, so I'm not surprised he decided to go with a different big here.
Disturb the drive, to not let them attack the basket. Box out, huh? Everybody strong box out, we run. Omar, you decide the calls, but first, transition, defense, box out, then we run. All right, let's go.
Pour jouer les pics. D'accord? Faut qu'on soit vigilant là-dessus. D'accord? On verra si on va leur poser un écran avec un ailier au départ pour les retarder. Mais pour l'instant, on joue notre jeu et on voit ce que ça donne. OK? Parce qu'ils ont changé les gars.
Coach Benny Marie, of course, formerly of CSP Limoges at the highest level of pro basketball in France. At the moment, it's about keeping Tunisia within the AfroBasket. Well, for Coach Duaglan, and now you can officially see our official sponsor, the countdown to tip-off brought to you by Tissot, is now underway. Well, there he is, Kiati. Can he replicate the same performance that he did put on display against Cameroon? It took them right to the wire. They almost won. And now it's a final game. And they go up against the two-time defending champions. And you mentioned, Coach, a very different Tunisia team. But it's now or never for both Tunisia and Madagascar.
Well, absolutely. You know, difficult task for Coach Monet. I mean, it's really a rebuild. So many new faces on this national team, but you come into this tournament two-time defending champion. So obviously, a ton of pressure for you to have some success. I think right now you're seeing it with the different starting lineup. He's still trying to see which of these newcomers he can rely on to contribute.
Well, Citraka is going to jump this one. And most likely, he is going to have to stay, well, be a force, but he's got to stay out of foul trouble. He picked up too many fouls too early in the first half, and it was only a matter of moments in the second half, in the third quarter, when he picked up that fourth foul.
Yeah, and really an unnecessary foul, just reaching out, grabbing the jersey of a rolling big. He's got to be disciplined in this game. He's got to understand how important he is to this Madagascar team.
Well, Ellie know where to go. Citraka having to catch a tough one that goes out of bounds. Tunisia will get this back.
Yeah, just forcing the issue a little too much. Nice job there from Jawadi holding his position, keeping Citraka from that lob.
Tunisia know, of course, that Madagascar do want to go to Citraka at any isolation scenario. Well, that's nice pick and roll sequence, and he misses the layup. Well, coach, you've got to finish those ones.
Yeah, he really does. Nice job there. Ben Yahinya sealing off the defender, really giving a wide open lane there for Jaziri. Just can't finish.
Well, double team's getting ready. There's a kick out. Now, Lovasoa made it in the opening game day from the mid-range, but unable to finish. Tunisia want to go right at Madagascar, but that's already another turnover. Monty comes up with it. Monty wants to run, hangs, and he gets denied. Good recovery defense.
That's a great play there defensively. See the athleticism of Mahdi coming up with the steal, pushing it out ahead. He's got to look to use that left hand there on the finish, though.
Well, Ben Yahia protecting the paint in transition, especially against a team like Madagascar who do want to run. They got to get the ball inbound. Citraka finding Chiati. Almost coming over it. Ellie's got to take a contested three, and that's not a good look for Madagascar.
Well, he's forcing the issue there.
Tumi gets in the paint and missing yet again, and neither team scoring here in the first minute. Lovasoa, unfortunately, out of bounds when the rebound went to him.
Yeah, unlucky there not to come up with that rebound.
A little bit of anxiety in both teams' play here in the first few moments. Need to settle into the game.
Well, it's to be expected. So much pressure here. Both teams knowing it's lose and go home.
Well, nice seal off by Ben Yahia, and that gives a wide open layup to Abada.
Well, again, Ben Yahia sealing off that defender. A lot of people call that a Gortat screen, named for the legendary Polish player, but nice job there in pick and roll.
Chiati splits the defense, goes in, and he is very explosive. And that's where he's got to be lethal tonight for Madagascar.
I mean, he's been so good in middle pick and roll for this team. You see the split there into the nice finish.
So he makes a bit of contact. Mamadi kind of had to second guess himself, but he's unable again to capitalize. This time the foul is drawn against Jawadi. Great take by Chiati.
I think if you're Chiati, you got to know you're going to have to carry a big scoring load for this team. I would see Madagascar running a lot of middle pick and roll for him, just as they did against Cameroon. You see the great split and the finish there.
Madagascar coach sometimes look a little bit uncertain when trying to inbound the ball. Mahdi trying to go at Tumi. Finds Lovasoa, quickly goes up. Nice finish by the big man.
It's a good drop off there from Mahdi. Saw the big rotating over, left it there for Lovasoa.
Tunisia's got to be more clinical. They've got to be able to finish. Here's another penetration. Ben Yahia is now run to 10 on the shot clock. They'll go for a three. It's up. Jawadi battles. He's able to recover this. Now going baseline, but that is going to be a kickball violation. So Tunisia get a fresh 14.
Well, you can see they just are struggling to find any sort of continuity offensively there. We see Mahdi with the nice drop off, but for Tunisia, incorporating these young players, trying to find a rhythm together has been a challenge.
Tumi goes at the defense. Citraka that time, excellently holding his hands high, avoiding the foul. Now catching a tough one. Goes up with it, banks open. Well, Madagascar taking advantage, coach.
That's a great sequence from Citraka, staying vertical, not coming down on the foul. Gets the clean block and then runs on the other end, seals and finishes in transition.
And that's a tough take by Abada, but you got to think, are they going to rely on those plays all game for them to win this one, Coach?
Well, I think that's going to be tough from Abada, shooting just 14% from 3 in this tournament. Hit a tough one there.
Well, now Tunisia can't take the lead, but Abada's got nobody with him. Again, they want to go to the bull screen. Abada down the middle. Well, he's unable to go up with it, but it will remain their possession on the inbound.
Well, I like his aggression to start this game. I think he's got to understand that, you know, really the most experienced player on this national team now. He's used to distributing to some of these other veterans. He doesn't have those guys with him now. He's going to have to take on a lot larger role in the scoring department.
Archie now is in the lineup. Well, another good look from downtown. Jaziri for 3. In and out, count finish. Lobasoa towering for the rebound. Well, Kiati finds Lobasoa. Say it's the right call, Coach, but very delayed there.
Yeah, I think it is the right call. The trail official waiting for the baseline official to make it, but I think it's absolutely the right call. And beautiful pass here from Kiati.
Well, Lobasoa at the free throw line. There's a lot of potential with, and you like to see this potential matchup with both him and Archie, but Lobasoa's got to be able to make the free throws. As mentioned, he had a double-double in the game against Cameroon.
Well, he's been tremendous, really aggressive on the offensive rebounds. He's done a nice job in those short roll situations, and another young talent, just 21 years old.
Second free throw, no good. Only 2 points separating Tunisia and Madagascar. Remember, winner stays in the AfroBasket. Loser goes home. Abada kicks out. There's a nice little penetration, but a block by Citraka. Madi wants to run with it, but he turns it back over. Good hands by Lobasoa. Jawadi in the corner. One more pass. Wide open. 3 is up. Citraka tries to go long. Finds Kiati. Kiati so quick, but he misses. And again, that is tough.
Both teams here, a little bit of nerves to start this game. Some easy baskets that they've missed. Open looks. Jaziri's had 2 wide open threes he hasn't been able to convert. Well, Abada goes in the paint off the dribble, and again, you've got to think, if they're going to win tonight, Coach, he's got to be able to lead this team in terms of points. It'll be interesting to see. Madagascar stayed in a drop primarily this entire tournament, but Abada really the only scorer for Tunisia. Maybe you need to think about trapping him a little bit more in this game, make some of these other guards beat you.
Tunisia can't take the lead. So far, it's been Abada with 7 points. Madi's trying to make him work. Well, Toomey's had his inconsistencies. Unfortunately, that becomes the recurrent story so far for Tunisia from the three-point line.
Well, that's been the issue in the tournament, shooting just 18% from 3 in this tournament so far. And these are wide open looks. You can see Madagascar more than willing to stay compact, give up these threes.
Madi's final seconds. Good hands by Abada. Trying to go for the lob pass with Toomey in transition. Madi's able to recover. Tunisia will get it back.
Well, Madi did well there to get a deflection, take that pass away from Abada, but on the offensive end, this has been an issue for him, settling too much from the mid-range. See a nice little pull-up here from Abada.
Well, you could look at it as Madagascar 7, Omar Abada 7. Of course, Manawi subbing into the game along with Metanani, the player. I agree with you. The physical presence that he provides his team. Second chance points, good ball screen coverage as well, but now he's only just coming into the lineup. It looks like Jawadi's going to take a break, so Ganuni's also coming in. So triple change for the 2-time defending champions.
Well, Marnawi, a player who can really get going. I mean, he's struggled so far in this tournament, but he's had big games in the past. Certainly somebody you wouldn't want to give wide open threes the way that Jaziri and Toomey have gotten.
Well, Manawi, straight off the bench, finally becoming the other Tunisian player to get on the stat sheet.
Well, that's the lift that they need. And for him, seeing his first shot go in, definitely a player capable of scoring in bunches.
Well, Lovasoa goes in. Let's try to double clutch fake there, but Citraka gets a rebound in the paint. Only able to finish. Chance now for Tunisia to try and extend on their lead. Archie sets a high screen. Patient passing. Now a three in the corner. That's way too short. Well, just over dribbling. Now they want to put it in Regis' hands. Try to set those high screens. Regis finds Madi. He can level things up. Well, he's had his inconsistencies, but as we said in the last game, if he can make those shots, Coach, he can be a game changer. Oh,
no question. That's been the missing piece of his game so far in his career. But that's a great kick out there from Regis, finding Madi in the corner.
Obata. Well, an offensive foul's going to be called. Now, did they call this one on Archie? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, they've got it on Oshie, and it's interesting because I thought especially the last one from Ben Yahia, a little overly aggressive in how they were sealing the big in that pick and roll. So maybe the official had said something to them, or maybe he just noticed it on his own. But Oshie, I think, really the result of some of these Ben Yahia seals as to why he picked up that foul.
Well, you can see his disappointment as he does go to the bench. He did, as you said, pick up his second personal foul. Madagascar yet to commit a foul here in the first quarter, as now we are under 3 minutes. Regis got to learn how to work against his defense. Tries to go all the way. Tipping no good. Now they have numbers here with Obata. Obata in and around. Kicks out. Another three for Tunisia. And again, it's too short, but Ellie comes up with it. Now Madagascar with the numbers. Madi made his last three. He'll try another one. And a push in the back is going to be called against Ganuni.
Well, it's a nice transition push there. Ellie with the kick out to Madi. It's a good shot there, but because the Tunisia defense is scrambling, unable to find blockout positions there, and Ganuni no choice but to push in the back.
Well, here's a look at Obata. That was the first three of the game. Remember, they only made one in that heavy defeat against Nigeria. But Madagascar with possession, looking to try and get back into the lead. Now Hasina's coming to the lineup. So only Lovasoa out of their big three currently on the floor. Malvin Kiati. Hasina. Lovasoa in the paint. Final second. Has to elevate, and that's way off the mark. Good defense by Tunisia.
Nice possession there. Ben Yahia staying down defensively, forcing the tough mid-range.
That's going to be two shots at the free throw line. And you can see Hasina, at that point, wasn't quite aware who he was supposed to pick up.
Nice job here from Marnawi, forcing the issue a little bit in transition. And, you know, Tunisia's really in need of scoring. He's a player that can bring that to them. If you're Coach Mari, you're definitely happy with what you've seen so far. He's been aggressive, looking for his shot. They're going to need a big performance from him today.
Jawadi currently on the bench for Tunisia. Obata still on the floor. He's played every moment so far here in the first. And now a bit of full court pressure coming from the Tunisians.
2-2-1 full court trap here.
Finding Hasina. I see a bit of a zone presence here from Tunisia, Coach.
Kiati, one-man zone buster. Great job splitting the top two defenders there, and nice mid-range finish.
Because what I like about his off-the-dribble mid-range, the elevation when he comes off the dribble, Coach. He jumps very high, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does. He's got a great in-between game.
Well, Hasina didn't want to pick up another one, and that's going to be basket interference.
Anthony Nelson just a little late to rotate over there.
Because Hasina knew he was out of position. Had he made contact, that would have been 2 fouls against him. Johnny trying to work here with Lovasoa. Tunisia very well aware of his talents. Finding Ellie. keeps this one alive. Goes out of bounds. So with 4.7, Madagascar will get it on the baseline.
Nice look there. Anthony Nelson just not quite ready for it. Have your hands ready from Chiatti.
Well, Hasina's going to go to the bench. He will indeed take a breather. So Livio subbing into the game for the first time for Madagascar. It's too predictable, too easy. So at his age, he's got to learn. You've got to get ready. You can see Chiatti saying to him, you got to give me an option.
Yeah, he's got to hold him off, do a better job there, but really like Ben Yahia's energy so far to start this game. Great job of making that difficult.
Well, Tunisia turned it right back over. Now Chiatti, three. Almost got it. Just rattles its way in and out. He's making some costly errors.
Well, Tunisia dodged the bullet there. Really sloppy inbound pass. Chiatti did everything but put that down.
Manawi. There's a Spain action. Tries a dish up. Goes out of bounds. Tunisia forces a turnover. So 4.8 seconds difference between game and shot clock. If Tunisia defend well here, they can come up with a stop, but not a lot of time there between those two differences. Region now happy to kind of wind the clock. Because you know Lovaso is going to come for the screen. But they want to go to Chiatti first. 5 seconds now for Chiatti. Picks up his dribble. Got to go quick. Lovasoa doesn't get it off in time, and even though he made it, that's still going to be a little bit of time. Now they think that's the end of the quarter. That's actually the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, Tunisia will have time here, a chance to score here at the end of the quarter, and a bit of a mistake there from Chiatti. Picked his dribble up early, was kind of stuck out there. Had to throw it to Lovasoa to be the creator. You want to see Chiatti create that last shot.
Well, Chiatti, at that point, you quite surprised to see him pick his dribble up because, as you mentioned, that's his go time, especially what we saw in the game against Cameroon. But 3.3 left here in the first quarter.
Well, Madagascar has fouls to give. Be interesting to see what they do here, but you know, I think anything with a dribble, you want to take that foul, see if you can eat a little bit of clock here.
Well, they've had to extend the time because remember, when Madagascar began to play, there was actually 4.8. You got to go quickly. Not a lot of time here. Ganuni all the way, coast to coast in the defense. Simply unacceptable from Madagascar. Coach, that would infuriate you.
Yeah, it's I'm sure disappointing for Coach Dwagland, coast to coast off the dribble. But again, they had fouls, so I thought for sure when Ganuni started dribbling, they would have taken a foul there, make them inbound the ball. Instead, able to go the distance off the dribble with nobody to stop him.
Well, combined total of 10 turnovers between these two teams. Madagascar do have 6 of them. Because at the moment, Amara Bada getting the opening 7 points for Tunisia. Right now, Tunisia slightly better than yesterday. They're 2 out of 8 from the three-point line, while Madagascar's only made 1 from Matthias Madi. Well, very soon we'll take a look at the highlights from the first quarter. Well, it's the 3rd game for these two teams in the group. As mentioned, they both lost to Nigeria and Cameroon. But this game's so imperative. The winner will stay here at the AfroBasket. Coach, loser, well, it's go home.
Yeah, and you see Ben Yahia inserted into the starting lineup. 2 big plays there. And you saw him on that Gortat screen, paving the way for Bada to get to the rim.
Tunisia right now just trying to slow down any transition. This is a good play. Dime coming from Chiatti, finding his Alain Bonnet teammates, and now national team teammate Citraka. The key for Madagascar, Coach, stay out of foul trouble.
Well, and they can feel good about that. So, you know, able to stay out of foul trouble, also able to get some important rest there for Citraka. Definitely not the way they wanted to finish the quarter, but all in all, still in a good position here to win this game.
Well, basketball fans, indeed, if you're a fan of the AfroBasket and International Hoops, scan that QR code and get the Courtside 1891 app so you can get live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions and also watch the warm-up games for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket, excuse me. Madagascar getting the first possession here in the second quarter, trailing by 4.
Well, Lovasoa still in the game. Obviously, they're going to play him big minutes today. They understand the importance of this.
Well, Rija goes for a quick 3, and he's made a few so far here in the AfroBasket.
Well, Tunisia electing to go under, was pretty deep on the pick and roll, but Rija, no hesitation, pulling up behind the screen and knocking it down.
Second 3 of the game for Madagascar. Ganouni kicks out. And Nani again goes back to Ganouni. He'll fire a 3, and both teams firing on all cylinders here in the first 30 seconds.
Well, Ganouni, a little bit of confidence there at the end of the quarter. Now knocking down a big 3.
Remember, they only made 1 against Nigeria. Libya's going to step out of bounds. A costly turnover for Madagascar.
And we've seen that a lot in this tournament. I don't know if there's something about this court, but these wings, they have to understand where they are on the floor, not take that negative step. You see Rija there with the big 3.
And that was the response from Ganouni. Already 3 triples so far for Tunisia. That's positive for the 2-time defending champions. And as you said, Coach, no 2-time defending champion of the AfroBasket has ever gone winless in the following group stage. Ganouni in and around the defense. And that's going to be a kickball violation. Well, Madagascar will get it back.
Yeah, nice job there from Livio. Quick hands, gets the deflection, and Ganouni, I think, kicked it when the ball was in the air.
Well, that's the penetration. Watch Livio, because he timed that one perfectly, because if you time it a split tenth of a second later, that could easily be called a foul, but he did that one very well. Abada back in. Rija tries to find the gap. Livio will take a 3, a little too short. This is where Tunisia want to extend their lead. Now pulling up from the mid-range, and there you have it. 6-point cushion to Tunisia. Now feeling more confident.
Well, this is what has been missing, so now I'm starting to see Marnawi heating up, Ganouni also knocking down some shots. That's been a struggle for Tunisia up until now.
Well, there's Citraka, Sela. Help side on both angles. Kicks out to Livio. They pull up for 15. That's a tough shot. And Coach, he has got a Vinnie Johnson microwave high release.
I guess he really does. You know, I think all of us a little surprised with the decision there. It was open from 3, decided to pass that up, took a tough mid-range, but knocked it down.
Metnani goes by the defense. They miss the layup. Citraka comes up with it. But he's about to throw it away. Unnecessary turnover. And that is just way too, well, I wouldn't say way too easy. You can see Madagascar. They come up with a great play. And although you have seen Citraka in the qualifiers put the ball on the floor, but Coach, you come up with a rebound. If you are likely to turn it over, just find a point guard, find an outlet.
Yeah, well, costly mistake there, but he's done a much better job here staying vertical with this contest, knowing that he can't pick up any fouls for this team.
Well, good hands there, because that was a tough pass. Chiatti now attacks the gaps. Livio goes baseline. Nowhere to go at the moment. Still time for Madagascar. Chiatti, that's a hand in his face. Not a great take from him.
Looked like he might have gotten hit on the wrist there.
Good hands by Rija, coming up with a steal. Still has it. They have numbers. Citraka. Another kick out. Rija, he'll pump fake. Citraka again, goes in. Are you kidding me? Citraka with the flush.
A tremendous finish there from Citraka, but credit Rija twice. Drawing the defender, nice bounce pass to find him there.
And the thing is, Madagascar had to work very hard on that play because Tunisia defensively were rotating, picking up, closing out. Labata hasn't scored since the first quarter. Nice dish up. Patiently going in with a reverse layup.
A nice finish there from Metnani. The pump fake and finishing on the other side of the rim.
6-point lead currently to the two-time defending champions. And an offensive foul is going to be called. I believe that's on Livio. Well, here's the build-up. There's the bounce pass. There's the flush. Citraka with the exclamation points.
That's a tremendous finish, but great job there from Rija. Drawing the defense, dropping it off. Nice bounce pass there to his big man.
So now Madagascar is going to go slightly bigger with Lovaso, and they, as mentioned, have brought Marty back into lineup. I say big three, they're more like a big four, aren't they? Citraka, Lovasoa, Kiati, Marty, but because there are passages, you have to give some of them rest at some point. Lovasoa played the most in the first quarter, Coach.
Well, you can see Coach Dwaglin's strategy here, just try to find maybe 3 minutes or so for each big, but try to keep them together as much as possible.
Well, good defense. That's what Citraka's in there for. Marty's able to draw the foul. I think Abada did as well as he could, but it's that length of Citraka, that just ability to hold, and you said it, when he's more vertical, not many players are going to be able to score against him.
Well, I'm sure that Coach spoke to him about staying out of foul trouble. He's been really disciplined with his protection at the rim, making sure he's staying vertical, not coming down, fouling these players.
Just over 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Tunisia still leading by 6 points. Both teams vying to stay here in the AfroBasket. Tunisia still has it. Yadi's got to do a better job of getting open. Citraka off balance. Nothing clicking here. This is a great matchup. Toomey up against Citraka. Toomey bumping, nowhere to go. Lovasoa trying to stay home. And again, Tunisia, Manawi just out of control here. No leadership in that possession.
Well, the timing a little off there. He's picking up his dribble early, hoping to have his big man on the roll, but definitely a mistake there from Manawi.
And Ashraf Ghannouni coming back into the game here. So they do have Jawadi and Abada in the backcourt. Well, here comes the Horns action. Finding Citraka. He wants to attack. Citraka goes in. Unstoppable. And he'll go to the free throw line. And that's tough by the big fella.
That's a great take there. You can see a little pop isolation for him out of the horn set, and you got to try to keep him on that right hand, not let him get back to his strong left. Great finish through the contact.
Well, a timeout is going to be called by Tunisia. When we return, it will be a free throw. A potential three-point play coming up for Citraka. The fans from Madagascar making the journey here to Angola. As now it's currently a 4-point ball game, but we'll go down to Tunisia's bench to find out what Coach Marie is going to address to his players.
Avec le poste 4 ici, là, Kiad, tu me prends ça ici, là, ici. Donc on a 2 et 3 et 5, d'accord? Donc ici, bien emmené dans l'écran, d'accord? Ouvrir. On s'aperçoit qu'ils mettent la pression ici.
We can go hip, okay? Or one down, come down, okay? If we go hip, go lower, Omar, on the first. So after on handoff, we are lower, okay? We don't let them go under easy. You can call it for Ghannouni or you exchange, okay? And then Spanish pick and roll with the switch guard, okay? Let's go, let's go. Good.
Fans, you just saw that QR code. Scan it when next time you see it, of course, to download the Courtside 1891 app, where you can watch live streams and get extended highlights of all FIBA competitions, and also watch the warm-up games ahead of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. Courtside 1891, download it today. Well, here are some looks at Tunisia so far here in the first half. 4:59 to go here in the second quarter. They still lead by 4, but Citraka currently at the free throw line. Way too short on the free throw. Here's the pick and roll sequence. Abada. Down low. Again, good defense by Citraka. A solid insurance policy inside the paint for Madagascar. Body goes elect, goes in, can't finish it again. Citraka going in with a cleanup.
Well, that's a great sequence there from Citraka. Once again, great verticality at the rim. He's there to protect it. And then as soon as he sees they have possession, sprinting the lane, finishing on the other end.
Twice 2 points, 4 rebounds away from a double-double. And now it's only a 2-point ball game. Abada, he's got 7 points. Finds a big one. Johnny comes over it. Madagascar. Well, there was a push, no doubt about it. He goes in and he levels things up in transition.
This is how Madagascar wants to play. Get out and run as much as possible. I think a lot of this quarter has been in the half court. I'm sure Coach Doglin happy to see his guys pushing the pace.
Oh, quite a hard screen, but Jawadi unable to finish. Regis able to secure the rebound, almost out of control. Finding Lovasoa, but Lovasoa take a few dribbles. Regis has options here, but just taking a little too long. Finds Lovasoa, and he's able to find that one, and now Madagascar going on an 8-0 run as they take a 2-point lead.
Nice job from Regis. We've seen this a couple of times so far in this game. He's able to get into the teeth of the defense, find drop-offs for his bigs.
Abada goes in and around. Still can't finish. That's going to remain Tunisia ball. Well, it did hit the rim, so it will be a reset of the shot clock at 14. Well, there's the block by Citraka. Already, that's his 3rd block of the first half, Coach. And there's the putback dunk.
He's been tremendous. I think he's probably disappointed. He knows that his team needed him in that game against Cameroon. Some unnecessary fouls there. You can see he's really done a nice job staying disciplined on the defensive end, making sure he's able to stay on the floor for this game.
And there's his rebound counts. He needs 4 on 2 points to get that double-double. Abada. There's a kick out to me. And nobody wants to go in the paint with Citraka defending. Jawadi goes in. Still can't finish. Oshie getting the offensive rebound. This is what Tunisia needs. Fight for every second shot. Abada with little time. Abada in and around. Nice dish. Oshie goes in, and it finally pays off.
Really nice pass there from Abada. Drew 3 defenders there with that drive. Patiently waited for Oshie on the roll.
Well, a game in which the winner goes home. You'd like to see this go right down to the wire. Well, Ellie trying to figure out some options. Goes for a step through, nice isolation. Now everybody finding their confidence. And the fans of Madagascar, they still believe. Jawadi out of control, losing his balance. Madagascar, momentum, time, space, 3, takes it.
Feel the pace of this game starting to shift. Definitely in Madagascar's favor right now.
The foul is going to be called against Matthias Madi, because he hasn't scored Abada since the first quarter. And I like the dime here, just luring all the help side defenders, and there was the wide open Oshie.
Yeah, really nice job there from Abada. Getting into the heart of the defense, drawing everybody. Really nice drop off.
So that opening game for Tunisia, he had some good post work, Coach. But he just seems like it's been a little bit frustrating since that opening game day for Oshie.
Well, all these guys struggling to find a rhythm. Oshie, I think, can potentially bring a different dynamic as a pick and pop big. I haven't really seen much from him since that first game, as you mentioned.
Another screen coming from Citraka. Madi finding Lovasoa. Showing a bit of an offensive kick. A little too short, but Coach, you want to see him show a little bit more initiative. So he's got to build on something.
Well, I don't think post scoring is really his game. So forcing out a little bit, Where he's been excellent is just activity around the rim. So finding roles, finding offensive rebounds, the occasional mid-range jump shot, but certainly an area for his development as he moves forward.
One thing I like about Lovasoa, though, is that high release. It's very tough to block, isn't it?
Well, you know, he's fading back as well. So these are, you know, tough to block, but also tough to make.
Sure,
so,
sure.
You know, I think for him, definitely work in progress as a low post scorer, but so many positives from him. Just 21 years old, getting some huge experience here at AfroBasket.
Of course, we've seen teams play zone defenses against Madagascar, and they've had spells where they've been able to break it down, spells where they've just, you know, come up with rush shots. Do you think at some point this might be something we see from Tunisia?
Well, I think if the pace of this game continues the way it is, for sure. We've seen the zone press from them before. It looks like they're in it again here.
Modifying Nelly. Madagascar still lead by 1. Well, here we now see it. Madi trying to find an opening. Hesitation, but he turns it over. An unforced turnover from Madagascar.
Yeah, he's just forcing the issue there. No real driving lane.
Now he drawing the foul. It's on the ground, so that's going to be Madagascar's final team foul to give away with 38.3.
Those are the fouls that Satraka can't take. He's been so good so far in this half. Got to be willing to just stay down, be disciplined, make them finish over you in your length.
They can't give any more away. There you have it. So Bade will go back to the free throw line.
When we saw this against Cameroon down the stretch of that game, this is where the youth starts to show a little bit. So they've had a really good half so far, found a rhythm here towards the end of the second quarter. They got to now stay disciplined. These fouls not only costly because of your lack of depth, but also prevents them from running. So they're at their best when they're in transition. The defense isn't set.
Well, Bada along to go with his 9 points this evening. He also has 2 rebounds and 2 assists. But they're going to need more of that from him if they are going to win tonight and remain in the AfroBasket. Looks like a provisional substitution. Jawadi will come back into the lineup. So Bada's movement, you know, when he has the ball, full screens, when he doesn't have it, just seems like it does disrupt everything defensively for Madagascar.
Well, Abada is so important for really everything Tunisia's doing. I'm sure Coach Maria doesn't want to see him pick up a foul here at the end of the first half.
Well, see, Chaka's got to leave the game. I'm not quite sure if there's blood or... And Anthony has sub back in, so Lovasoa coming to inbound this. 33.1 left here in the second quarter.
The timing of that, unfortunate. You want to have your best player on the court here, one of the final possessions of the half.
Madagascar down by 1, and Ellie's fouled in the process. Well, I don't think the coach's challenge on that. Wanawi, the guilty party, unfortunately, here for Tunisia.
It's just not a smart play. You know, obviously not a ton of contact, but there is some contact there on the wrist, and he's got to be more disciplined.
What this does, though, for Madagascar, just gives them the opportunity to maybe build a 2-point lead if he can convert all these 3 free throws. Jawadi just only came into the game, so probably taking him out, maybe, I guess, to have the offensive play from Abada. I'm not sure if he's in any foul trouble at the moment.
No, it's definitely for that. They want Abada on the floor here for the last possession.
Second free throw good. If he makes this one, Tunisia will get it back down by 2, and they can go for the final shot here in the first half. Converts all 3 of them. Tunisia don't want to be fouling any more 3-point attempts.
Madagascar here also understanding that you're in the bonus. Any foul is going to put Tunisia on the free throw line. potentially consider fouling one of Tunisia's poor free throw shooters, see if he can end up with the last possession.
A lot of good hands by Lobasoa, denying Oshie, so 5.3. Still plenty of time for Tunisia, but good defense from Madagascar.
Well, Lobasoa, nice job there on his recovery, deflecting that pass to the rolling Oshie. Let's see, I'm sure Tunisia has underneath out of bounds place for these late clock situations.
Abada gets it, thinks about it, now penetrates in and around. There's a foul. So Bada will go to the free throw line for the third time here in the second quarter. Good penetration by the two-time champion.
I think you just got to be a little more disciplined there. Tunisia has struggled from the perimeter in this tournament. Letting Abada get downhill, drawing the fouls. They've been efficient at the free throw line so far this game.
Well, he has indeed been the leading scorer tonight, 11 points. He's only missed one free throw so far here in the first half. Make that two. Monty throws it up. Well, it was near, it was close, but it didn't go in. And there you have it, Madagascar leading by one in a must-win, do-or-die game for both Madagascar and Tunisia. Remember, the loser of this game will indeed go home. The winner will go to the play-ins, the round of 16. This is the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. And Coach, I think we both agreed in the first moments, you can sense the anxiety, the tension, specifically in the offense of both of these two teams.
Well, you're definitely right. Early on in this game, both teams a little tight, missing some easy shots, but I think Madagascar found their rhythm towards the end of that second quarter. They want to play fast. They're able to get out and run a little bit. If you're Tunisia, you've got to figure out a way to make some of these perimeter shots. They've had open looks, just not capable of knocking them down.
Well, Sitraka currently leading the way, 8 points, 6 rebounds, also has 3 blocks, while Maabada is leading for Tunisia. But when Regis made that three-pointer, because things just slightly turned around better for them. But you said it very well. This team, they want to run in transition, but also at the same time, Coach, they've got to be able to finish in transition.
Well, I thought Regis was excellent for them. Not only that big step-back three there, but a lot of really nice drop-offs to his big man.
Well, there was Livio off the dribble, the post entry to Sitraka, then the kick out. But there was the unfortunate turnover. And here's where Tunisia's got to take advantage wherever they can, because you can already see the two-time defending champions struggling to get things in the paint with this man, Sitraka. His paint interior defense, well, it's tough to go up against, Coach.
Well, his defense has been tremendous, but right there, powerful finish with the left hand. You see the nice block there. That's where I've been really impressed. His discipline while getting these wins, making sure he's staying vertical, not coming down, committing any silly fouls.
Well, Kiati, the other player, so far 6 points. Remember, he had a game of games against Cameroon. Unfortunately, Madagascar did lose. But even with moments like this, Ali's stepping up. He has 3 rebounds, but also went to the free throw line for 3 shots. But what a play by Abada, drawing everybody and finding Oshie wide open.
Yeah, beautiful drop off here, and that's really been Tunisia's main offense. So Abada creating everything, getting downhill, scoring himself, or finding teammates.
Fans, it's halftime. We're live here in Luanda, Angola. This game, the winner stays, the loser goes home. We'll be back in just over 12 minutes.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Again in transition. That goes in. Hits denied. Are you kidding me? Kanute. I mean, he knew the defense was coming. He threw that up, and I don't think he knew it was going in.
Well, that free throw trip a lot better for them. They'll be a little bit happier. There's a pass. Silla's blocked.
Good hands-on defense by Koulibaly, and now Kanute behind the back goes in, and good night, Molly playing a bit of showtime here at the AfroBasket. The behind-the-back dive coming for Kanute. Are you kidding me, Coach?
Gotcha. Travis gets the pass to McCullum. Oh, wow. That is just great defense on the cover. Might be a 5-out lineup.
Yeah, and he went to the bench with 2 fouls.
To Dow. Oh, wow, wow, wow. What a shot to open up the second half.
I mean, that's the way you want to start this third quarter, by lighting it up on the three-point line and shooting with depth.
Turns, oh wow, what a fantastic move. Footwork, superb, finish, even better. Ball is stolen. Kita to Jallo, that's the spot he hit from earlier. Ball movement superb, and that is a highlight play for the team.
Oh my goodness, we saw a nutmeg from Kanute and then a throwdown. And Coach, sorry to cut you off. We don't ever see nutmegs like that in the game of basketball.
Now, out on the break is Lucchini, chased down by Majokdeng, excellent work.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back, basketball fans, live here in Luanda, Angola for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket, the 31st edition. We're currently at halftime and a 1-point lead to Madagascar over Tunisia. Well, the man who's arguably been their best player so far, one of their best, I should say at least, and definitely in the paint for Madagascar, Sitraka. Last season playing in France's second division with Alain Bonnet in Pau, but right now nearly a double-double with 8 points and 6 rebounds. And this summarizes his game. But defensively, Coach, he has been tough to go up against.
He's been tremendous. 3 blocked shots in the first half, but just an overall rim protecting presence and a really nice job of staying out of foul trouble. So, you know, just the 1 foul so far here in the game. He knows he's going to have to play big minutes for Madagascar to have a chance.
And of course, that was his struggle, fouling out. But right now, the man who was a part of the championship campaigns with Salamedri and Nakram Ben Ramadan, he has to lead. He's got to score more if they're going to come up and win, because as mentioned, the winner of this game remains here in the AfroBasket. They'll go to the plains to try and get to the quarterfinals, while the loser will be on the next plane home.
Well, he's done it all for this Tunisia team, and he's going to have to. So attacking out of pick and roll, looking to score for himself. You see the step back there, but also nice job of finding his bigs on the rolls.
Well, still another half to come. There you can see Abada just going in off the dribble inside the paints. 11 points. Also has 3 rebounds to go to his name. And my correction, has 2 rebounds and 2 assists, but right now they need him to come big. Well, Coach, when we look at some of the other stats here from halftime, Tunisia 9 points of turnovers, only 4 points in Madagascar. And Tunisia, 12 points in the paint. Well, Madagascar with the advantage of 18. I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, you know, I'm not surprised to see that. I mean, Madagascar, when they get into transition, they can get your defense scrambling a little bit. Obviously, Madi, really dynamic guard, getting downhill. You know, there's a reason why this is a close game. So statistically, very even. But I think to me, it's the three-point shooting of both teams. You know, both teams having a hard time knocking in open looks from 3. So the first team, I think, that can get going from the three-point line will probably come out victorious here today.
Well, Tunisia currently with only 4 assists, and that was a stat that really surprised me because you consider how this team is, you know, very well coached. They try, I mean, they play as well as they can at the end of the day. They have a lot of ball screen action, a lot of penetration kick out, but 4 assists in 1 half. You'd expect that to maybe be a little bit better.
Well, I mean, I think it just speaks to how disjointed they are offensively. So big voids to fill. I mean, they've got some really important veteran players no longer with this team. So trying to figure out who can step up, be those scorers. And for Abada, he's always been a facilitator. So now having to take on that role as a primary scorer, this is something new for him.
Well, it's Abada's time to really step up here for Tunisia. As mentioned, you win, you go to the play-ins, the round of 16. And in that game, you give yourself a chance to compete for the quarterfinals. But if you lose, you will go home. 11 points for the man who was a part of that championship in Rwanda in 2021 in Kigali. Of course, a magnificent final. But as you mentioned, it's just so tough when, you know, you're that facilitator, that guy in the backcourt, you've got Ben Ramdan at 4, Salah Medri at 5, and others in company, to now it's your team. That's a big change to happen.
Well, no question, and also all he is known is winning with the national team. So sometimes too, when now you're that leader and the face of your national program, you also have to be able to rally your guys. So a lot of growth opportunities here for Abada as he's become the star player of this national team.
Well, for Madagascar, they have 5 more assists collectively, and, you know, part of that is down to players like him in the tempo. I mean, we're always fascinated by how quickly Madagascar can run, but I guess the key thing, not only getting into foul trouble, Coach, but so many unnecessary turnovers. If they can minimize those, they can definitely win this game.
Oh, no question. I mean, 10 turnovers, definitely an area that they can improve on. Madi, I thought, forced it a little bit. Some of his turnovers coming from there. And, you know, you see Kiati there. He hasn't really gotten going. You see Citraka with a really nice first half. But I thought Rija gave them huge minutes off the bench. So, you know, 4 assists for him. He had that nice 3-pointer as well. Let's see if they go to him early here in the second half.
And when you look at Madagascar, you saw Citraka's numbers as he's right in front of us, but it's obviously a big force. Citraka, Lovaso inside the paint. Kiati and Madi in the backcourt. You want to get them on the floor because that's your best lineup, but then for Coach Duagla, you've got to find a way to relieve minutes and get them a little bit of rest. And it's in that time where you have to anticipate Tunisia are going to probably try to make a run.
Well, you know, you can see what his strategy is, you know, finding short breathers for both of them, but trying to keep them together on the court as much as possible. That was something from the first game that really stood out. Anytime one of them was on the bench, it was a struggle. Tunisia not able to exploit the size quite as much as their previous opponents, but for sure, Coach Duaglin wants them to be together as much as possible here in the second half.
The fans from Madagascar, it's been a very long wait for their return to the AfroBasket. The last time, 2011. So 14 years, and they're finally back. And if you followed the AfroBasket qualifiers, it was that big victory against Egypt. That very close nail-biter. Both Citraka, Madi were monumental in that game. So they've earned their right to be here. And in their first 2 games, well, it was a tough opener, but especially the Cameroon game where they almost won, Coach. They can compete. but now you're at the AfroBasket. Now you're up against the best in the continent. Now you got to do it for 4 quarters.
Well, that's it, and let's listen in right now, see what Coach Moni has to say.
You can have hip. Okay, remember on hip, the first screen, Omar descend un peu, comme ça ils peuvent pas glisser sur le pick and roll avec Oussama après. Okay? First is defense, physicality above everything. Allez, let's go.
Le cadre qui vient dessous, d'accord? Ou alors la situation de pique en situation d'arrière, où on provoque le milieu, on sort comme on a vu tout de suite. Ok? Jouer avec notre jeu pour trouver les solutions. Ok? Allez, go! Si c'est homme à homme, on part sur 0.
Well, fans, if you love the FIBA AfroBasket, scan the QR code and download the Courtside 1891 app so you can watch live streams and get extended highlights of FIBA competitions and also watch the warm-up games for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. Well, Courtside 1891, download it today. Tunisia down by 1 point. Jawadi Abada in the backcourt. He's also going, I believe, now with Manawi. So a slight change. Metnani as well, coach. So definitely different from their opening 5.
Yeah, going a little bit bigger here to start the second half. Metnani, I thought, gave good minutes off the bench in their previous 2 games. Thought potentially he could even start here. And a little sloppy on the inbound, but not surprised to see Marnawi here starting the second half. See if he can get going here offensively.
Abada's just able to recover. Marnawi, full fire 3. So able to prevent the offensive rebound. Oh no, Madagascar will get it back. We'll have to see from where we're placed, but Tunisia's got to dig deep defensively. Madagascar, they've got to remain organized. Good defense by Jawadi, denying Kiati from getting the possession. Monty pump fakes, finds Ellie, reverse slam. What a move, the wraparound.
Great finish there from Ellie. Started with the beautiful cut.
They've had their struggles offensively, Tunisia. But now, as I mentioned, you've got 2 quarters to turn this around.
You just see there's the lack of go-to scoring. So, back when beautiful finish from Ellie, but back when I was coaching against them, Mike Roll, such an important player for them as a naturalized guy, they really could use that score. Maybe Marnawi can fill that void for them, but somebody they know they're going to each time in the half court.
Well, finally they get a 3 to go, and that levels things up here. Marnawi had to take that one under pressure. Nothing separating these 2 teams. Citraka trying to set this one here for Kiati. Kiati, he'll fire a 3, and that's a high arcing shot. Tunisia's able to gather a 3-on-3. Jawadi down the middle. He's trying to get in the round. Well, he may have missed the layup, coach, but just impressed he was able to avoid the block from Citraka.
Well, again, Citraka's length and verticality has been outstanding, and you can see Coach Marty is going to challenge this. I think he's probably right there. Looked like Lovasoa tipped it out at the end.
Well, the challenge has been called, so players are going to have to go to the benches. The officials are going to go to the monitor to find out, which from that replay, this could be very interesting. All things leveled up here, 34 apiece. Tunisia up against Madagascar. Remember, the winner will go to the play-ins, stay in the AfroBasket, while the loser, unfortunately, will go home. Well, here's another look at the replay.
It's coach challenge. We are to review which team caused the all red bones. Initial decision is red ball. Frame camera, please. Frame camera. Close angle, please. Zoom, please. Zoom. Zoom. Thank you. Red. red, 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 red. Come back, please.
Well, hard to tell. Does he touch it right at the very end of that play? Madnani maybe.
Red, red. Do you have other elbow?
Really tough. It's possible he got a fingertip on there.
Red, red, red.
Yeah. From that angle, yeah.
Lovasoa clearly hits it in the beginning. Hard to tell if it goes off Madnani's fingertips right at the very end. Might be a case where there's not enough to overturn the call there.
Okay, red.
See more definitively from this angle.
Red, red.
That's very, very close. It's almost a fingernail.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Looks like there was a little bit of a redirection of the spin. Usually that would indicate that it had hit a fingertip.
Yeah, right there, just at the, what's the summit, if you like. Well, you can hear the Tunisian fans. You can hear what they think. I think the fans of Madagascar just patiently waiting to find out. Because our referees still having to take their time. You can definitely see that it's not as conclusive as you would think.
Well, they're taking a long time with this one.
After review, calls reverse, the ball is white. Okay? It's the red light with 14 seconds. Okay?
Well, decision has been made.
After review, the ball is white.
Oh, yeah. Tunisia's won it. So, successful head coach's challenge.
Well, that was definitely tricky. They spent a lot of time with that one. Well, let's see if it leads to points here for Coach Marie.
Over a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. So should be, I believe, yeah, 14 on the shot clock because it did come off a shot attempt, I believe. So Tunisia, can they reclaim? Madnani fighting Obata. Quickly coming up with a ball screen from Benya here. Good hands. There's a kick out. Obata's got 11. Now he's got 14. They need him to deliver.
Well, the three-point shot, that's been a struggle for everyone on this Tunisia team, Obata especially. So he's happy to see that one go in, and a nice set there from Tunisia.
They want to find Kiati, but you can see Jawadi keeping the ball out of his hands. Monty's made 1-3. Citraka comes up with it, hangs in the air, and he cuts it back down to 1. Now he's got 10 points.
He's so good with that left hand, soft touch around the rim.
What a nice penetration, bit of contact. Wow. Is that the foul on the penetration?
Well, I think he's definitely bumped from behind when he went to finish. The trail official waiting to see if the baseline official was going to call it, but you know, you see right there, I think Lovasoa gets him a little bit there with the body.
So Manawi now at the free throw line here for Tunisia. Because that time when he made the penetration, there wasn't anybody quite home. So Tunisia, you want to kind of bring both Citraka and Lovasoa away from the basket as much as possible.
Well, I like Marnawi's aggressiveness here in the second half. I'm sure he wants to make a statement that he could be that primary scorer they've been looking for. And you see them back in the 2-2-1. They'll fall back into a 2-3 zone likely here.
Citraka's got to get it over. Oh, that was close. How Madagascar break down the zone? We're going to find out. Madi, cross court. Nice pass, little teardrop. Not good enough. And here comes Tunisia. And Nani goes in all the way, can't finish, but the tip-in is good. Second chance points. That is where they've got to dig deep.
A nice push here from Nani, and you see them going back to the 2-3 zone.
Madagascar's got to find ways to break the zone down, make it collapse. Final seconds. Well, there's one way. Again, inside the paint, he can't be automatic.
He's got such a good touch from mid-range and in. Nice job there, finding him in that seam. And that's probably their best bet at beating this zone. Let him be the flash guy around that free throw lane.
Well, they're giving away a lot of offensive rebounds. And another rebound now for Citraka. Madagascar can level things up. Could take the lead with a three-pointer, but they haven't had success from downtown. Well, there's another three. It's a high arc. That's way too short.
Yeah, Chiatti forcing it a little bit in that zone. Definitely take them out of sync.
And Obata goes up to 16. Oh, man, just hit his head on the back. He's okay. That looks painful. Well, 16 points so far for Obata. He's 4 out of 6 from the free throw line, 5 out of 10 from the field.
Well, he's been tremendous, and they've needed all those points from him. You can see, though, this zone has really slowed Madagascar down. They've got to find opportunities to push, not try to make this a half-court game.
Novasoa towering for the rebound. 2-possession ball game. Finding Chiatti. Good recovery from Tunisia. Back in the zone. Amadi's wide open. Pump fakes. Another kick out. Well, he's got to make this one. That was Lovasova, excuse me. Tunisia patiently just trying to work around this. Well, nice backdoor play. Good pass. Goes out of bounds. Tunisia won't get this back.
Again, you see the length of Citraka making things difficult for anyone around the rim. He's done a great job with his verticality there.
12 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks. Because I know he wants to win. That's the most imperative thing tonight. And the same can be said about Tunisia. It's about remaining in Angola for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. Well, Manara made one tough three. There's rebound number 9. He's going to get called a double team, but a foul is going to be called against Tunisia. Their only foul so far here in the third quarter.
But that's what you need if you're Madagascar. Look for throw-aheads, any opportunity. Don't let this zone defense get set. I think they've been too content trying to beat it in the half court.
Well, Regent into the game. Now in the post. Bumps. Got to shoot it. Good defense by Tunisia. And now here comes Obata. Oh, he misses the layup. Well, that would have made it a 6-point ball game. But can Madagascar capitalize? Madi off one screen. Down the middle. Goes in. Tough teardrop. Lovasoa can't finish. And both teams struggling, coach. Well, there's a steal by Citraka. They have numbers. Fakes the pass. Goes in. Comes up with it, goes in, throws it down with 2 hands. And a problem for Ben Yahia. He's gone down.
Well, kind of wild sequence there. Looked like he might have been hit on the arm. I didn't see he landed on somebody's foot.
That's a double-double, that play. So because it's a shot attempt, they got him down for 10 rebounds now.
Well, yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
double-double.
The first shot there blocked and coming down with it. But that pace is what you have to sustain. So I think a little bit of fatigue here from both teams as you hit that third game in group play. But if you're Madagascar, this is really how you have to play to have a chance to win this game. So continue to attack and transition as much as possible. And good to see Ben Yahia getting up and walking off the court.
Oshie coming back into the lineup, so hopefully we'll see Ben Yahia come back, but he's got to play some big minutes. I was trying to figure out, because it was a shot attempt and it was blocked, he came up with it. I'd seen it on the stats. He was on a double-double, but yeah, he's now 6 blocks away from a potential triple-double tonight. Ganuni now working here with Madagascar. There's a pump fake. Oh, nice finish in the middle. And could he be the X factor for Tunisia?
Well, this is the Marnawi that we're accustomed to seeing. So usually a dynamic scorer. You can see them going to him in a lot of their half-court sets, and he's been delivering here this game.
Well, Lovasoa bumps, goes in. Tough move. Well, big man started on the perimeter.
That's a great finish there, able to put it on the deck, absorb some contact, finish at the rim.
While Ganuni trying to work around the screen. There's a kick out to Jawadi. Madagascar rotating well. To Tunisia battling for offensive boards, giving themselves another chance. Just over 3 minutes.
It'll be interesting to see. They have huge size advantages at the wing spot. We haven't really seen them try to post any of these guards up.
And again, Madagascar can level things up. Madagascar so far only 2 out of 11 from the perimeter tonight. Regis made 1 of them. So is Madi. Well, Lovasoa could tie it up. Just a little too flat on that one.
We can see Anthony Nelson getting ready to check in. This is around the time in the first half Coach Dorglin came with the sub for Citraca. So,
well, good defense by Lovasoa, and you can still see Tunisia struggling for points in the paint. Madi can give the lead. He's made 1, and it's all on target, but it just doesn't go in.
Yeah, I'd like to see him attack the rim there. Looked like he had a lane. That's where he's at his best, but the pace of play much better here in the last couple minutes for Madagascar.
Toomey bumps, finds Ganuni. Ganuni goes in, no foul called. Lovasoa coming up with a rebound. That's now his 10th rebound of the evening. A very barren spell of play from both teams. Regis made 1-3. Citraca battles, but again, Tunisia collectively come up with it.
For Madagascar, you got to try to put some pressure at the rim first. It's their drive and kick game where they're at their best.
And a great seal-off by Oshie, which then leads to the layup by that man, Madagascar, who is giving them some life here in their offense.
Well, he's been great here, especially in this quarter. He has a huge size advantage over Rija. Be curious to see if they try to flash him into the post.
Madi now looks to attack. Tries to go the way out of control. Goes out of bounds. And Tunisia will get it back. Positive here from the 2-time defending champions, as Abada is going to come back into the game.
Well, nice job there from Marnawi, giving them the scoring punch that they've been looking for. And I think that zone has been a nice adjustment there from Coach Marie. Anytime Madagascar has been in the half court, it's really been a struggle for them.
Well, Manawi's the leading scorer tonight with 17 points. Along with Abada, the only 2 players for Tunisia in double figures. Leading by 4. Abada goes in now. He's the leading scorer with 18.
Another great seal. Tunisia has done a great job. They're big, sealing off to help defenders. See them sticking with this 2-3 zone.
Madi almost turned it over. Aslan Jatavo keeps it alive. Finds Lovasoa, goes in, gets denied. Oshie with a big-time block. And Abada goes in. Sucker shot, but the tip in. Tunisia. Coach, right now, they want this game a little bit more than Madagascar.
Well, they're playing with great energy right now. You know, Madagascar just looking fatigued. But this is their style of play. Getting up and down is where they're at their best. I think it's going to be hard for them if it's a half-court game, especially against this zone.
Well, it's just a simple effort to get there and just tip it in. Matthias Madi, only 3 points. Hasn't had a great points production. It's that 1-3 made in the first half. His first trip to the charity stripe tonight. It's now the third missed free throw collectively as a unit. There's no offense for them. There's no, like I said, he's the only player in double figures. He has a double-double tonight. Second one no good either. Well, there you have it. We're heading into the final 10 minutes for Tunisia. Operation Hang On. Try to remain at the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. For Madagascar, coach, what is it?
Well, credit Tunisia. You know, that they've been struggling in this tournament to find some life, and that last 3-minute stretch there really important. You saw it start with their 2-3 defense, able to get some stops, able to get out in transition. But for Madagascar, maybe just have to come with some fresh bodies. Maybe Ellie can come back in the game, but I think the tempo is where they have to be. They just look right now like they're a little fatigued.
Well, the positive note in the third quarter, at least for Madagascar, only one turnover. Remember, they had 10 at the end of the first half. They still have more assists than Tunisia. But when Manawi made this three-pointer, maybe it was the confidence just given to them. Like I said, they haven't been great. They're better tonight. They're 33%. They've converted 5 out of 15. Where they've struggled to get points in the paint, coach, it's the seal-offs they've had from the bigs, as you mentioned.
Well, the bigs have done a really nice job. Those Gortat screens opening up some lanes there, especially for Abada to get in and finish. But Marnawi's been outstanding, 10 points in that third quarter, and that's what they really need, that go-to scorer. Abada much more comfortable being a facilitator than a primary scorer. So I would look for Marnawi to come back in this game pretty soon and see if he can finish it out for them.
Well, it's been rough, it's been tough, and it's fair to say Tunisia's been tough as nails, because a team that's been beaten in their first 2 games, as you mentioned, when you're used to winning, when you're used to having it go your way, they've been tested. But 10 more minutes. Fans, if you love the FIBA AfroBasket and all international basketball, scan that QR code and get Courtside 1891, where you can get live streams and extended highlights of FIBA competitions, and also watch the warm-up games to the 2025 FIBA EuroBasket. Courtside 1891. Download it today. Well, the man who is still very much keeping this team alive is leading with 18 points. And yet the principal nature of Tunisia's defense, remaining in the zone. Kiadi's got to make this one. 3 in the corner. Just not dropping tonight for him.
Yeah, it's been a struggle here tonight. That was a good look, probably his best look of the game so far.
Well, Abada again, working the screen. Kicks out. Nice take, Kanuni. Now Oshie inside the paint. Oh, he misses. But they come up with an offensive board. He wants to go to his right. Little teardrop, and now giving them their first double-digit lead of the night.
Nice job there from Toomey coming off the ball screen. You're seeing those perimeter skills from him.
Madagascar's got to build up something. Ellie's got to go up right away. I think he was worried about the block, but it was actually Anthony, my apologies.
A nice job of finding the seam there, Anthony Nelson, and great pass from up top.
Oh, Ganuni goes, Ganuni finishes, and Ganuni puts him back up by 10. What a drive.
This high pick and roll giving Madagascar some problems.
Trying to go baseline. He's got away with a carry. The foul has been given against Oshie, so 2 free throws for Anthony. Maybe a spark for Madagascar, something just to give them a little bit of a kickstart here in the fourth quarter. That was the first play.
You see a great pass there from Kiadi. Nelson finding the seam there in that zone, but it's been a struggle for Madagascar. Anytime they're in the half court, that zone is set, really hard to find points. I think if you're Madagascar, this final push here, knowing how important this game is, your tournament's over. If you can't find this win, they're gonna have to get this game going up tempo somehow.
Well, that's gonna be a lane violation if he misses, but he converts the free throw. Tunisia making a change. Ganuni going to the bench. Because now Osama Manawi, second leading scorer. Now they have 3 players in double figures. Kanuni just left. He has 11.
I'm not surprised to see Marnawi coming back in this game early. He's coming off of a really strong third quarter, and his scoring is exactly what this team needs.
Ruja getting called for the foul. That's going to be a sideline possession to Tunisia. 8:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. Well, there's a backdoor. Toomey goes in. He meets him. Oh, he missed it. Well, it was practically gift wrap from Coach. But again, Lovasoa's presence, that is the insurance policy that Madagascar has with him.
Well, he's got to finish that one. Nice set there on the side out of bounds play. And you know, if you're a bottom, maybe throw it as a lob. You know, sort of in between a lob and just a lay-in there. But Toomey's got to come up with that one.
Impressively, Madagascar with 4 more points in the paint tonight than Tunisia, but Tunisia just went on a rampage in the third quarter. The question for them is, can they hold on? Leading by 8 with just over 8 minutes to go. Working against the zone. Livio. Oh, good look at the corner. 3 is up now, cutting it down to a 5-point ball game.
A nice ball movement there from Madagascar, and really their one shooter outside of Kiati would be Ellie, so I think smart to get him back into the game.
Well, it's going to be Madagascar ball. Bada is incensed. But you got to tell you, the one thing I don't like there, and I'm not saying anything about him as a player, it's the moment, of course. You can see it's coming from Ellie just saying to the official the technical motion. You can understand Bada's frustration. He's going to obviously fight his case, but when a player goes like this, you get almost back in the game. You got to keep your mind focused at this point.
Well, they know every possession matters. Obviously, they felt that that was off of Madagascar. Haven't seen the replay here, but you know, as you get down the stretch, losers going home, so each moment becomes high pressure.
Of course, Ali's a fantastic player. He's played some good stuff here in the AfroBasket. Madagascar needs him. They need big moments. Well, he's going for another 3. That's a little off the mark. Tunisia happy to let that one go out of bounds.
Well, they got to stay disciplined. They found a nice corner 3 opportunity for Ellie that he knocked down. This one, I think, forcing a little bit. I like him better in those corner areas. Let the wings create the shot for him.
Well, there's a gamble. Toomey wants to attack. We're able to keep this one alive. Still time for Tunisia. Another kick out. Manawi, big 3. And again, big time play by a big time player.
Marnawi, this is what he can do coming into this tournament. Dynamic scorer.
And a huge 3-pointer. Second 3 for Ellie, and potentially could be a 4-point swing.
Well, and you know, again, they find him in the corner. I think that's where he can find these seams in this 2-3 zone. Try to overload one side, see if the ball can end up in the corner. That's twice now.
Well, if he makes this free throw, he'll be the joint leading scorer tonight for Madagascar. Remember, Citraka's got 14 and 10. Well, here's a look at the 3-pointer by Manawi. Lisselli had 10 points against Cameroon. And that's only, you consider, he's taken more free throws in this game than he had in the first 2 combined. 4-point swing, 4-point deficit. Tunisia trying to hang on. Manawi wants to go to his left. Little Euro step, tough play. Top of the backboard, can't get it. Final seconds. Jawadi gets it off in time. Big time play. Tunisia responding.
That was a big shot there from Jawadi. We saw him knocking down big shots their first game. It's been really quiet since then.
Oh, Ellie running baseline. Nice play, Lovasoa, the follow-up, and it doesn't go in. And Coach, I know he's 21, but you've got to finish in this game.
Well, that was a tough tip in. Great finish there from Marnawi, clearly in a rhythm here offensively. And if you're Coach Dwagleen, how long do you go with Citraka on the bench?
Well, quiet games for both Kiati and Madi, but they're also on the bench too. Ellie penetrates. Finds Anthony from 15. That's not going to go. And now Tunisia can't make it a double-digit lead. Abada, you know it was coming, denying the screen. Another kick out. Metnani will fake the pass. Down the middle, goes in and makes it an 11-point lead now for Tunisia.
A nice ball fake there from Metnani. Finding the seam all the way to the rim.
Well, Anthony out of control. Still no changes. You got to think they're coming soon. Monty back in the lineup. Abada going in. Abada finishes. And that tip-in coach with Loasoa could have made it a 5-point ball game. And now Madagascar find themselves down by 13. Manawi, Jawadi, all making it count from downtown.
Big shot there. Felt like Madagascar was starting to climb back into this game, and that triggered this big run.
Chris, you asked a good question. You know, you've got Madi and Kiati on the bench, and yes, they've had tough games today. Maybe you can see Kiati just favoring right there over the bench. He's still not coming back in, so I believe Madi was getting ready to sub, but you got to win the game. If you don't win, you go home.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's it. Obviously, they don't have a ton of depth. You can see some of the big minutes these guys have logged starting to wear on their bodies, but this potentially is the last 5 minutes of your AfroBasket tournament, so you want to leave it all on the court and you want to do it with your best players. So I would expect Satraka back in the game. I know Kiati has struggled up to this point, but he's been your leading scorer in this tournament. I think you got to get him back in. If you're going to go down, you're going down with your best.
Well, still time left, 5:09, but it is a 13-point deficit. And you've got to credit Tunisia. They've had their struggles immensely. Only one three-pointer made in the last game. But my word, coach, they've made them tonight where it counts. And a victory tonight, if they are to get it, will get them to the round of 16, the play-ins. So maybe they're not going to go for the disappointment, but still there's time. And a great game from Ahmad Bada. I said this, he's got to step up. Both him and Manawi, they've come big here in this game.
Well, they've delivered, and this is probably the recipe for them as they move forward. They're able to win this game. So those two are going to have to handle a lot of the scoring load. Abada used to being a playmaker. Now he's got to be a scorer for this team.
Well, it was quite a long time for both Madi and Satraka on the bench here in the fourth. You got to take a little bit of time to warm up. Loasoa, high post. Rija just throws it away, but good for Tunisia. Abada goes in, and Abada finishes, extending it to a 15-point lead.
That's the reaction, too. You don't have time to hang your head on the turnover, sprint back, defend, and starting to get a point in this game where you're going to have to get this tempo going.
Well, he's able to find some separation. Satraka offensive board. There's 13 points from Madagascar's turnovers in favor for Tunisia. Manawi's been on fire tonight again. He's cooking, coach. Sending this team potentially to the play-ins, the round of 16.
Well, that's what he's capable of. It's been a real struggle for him prior to this game, but he's got everything clicking here in the second half.
Well, foul is going to be given. That's only going to be the second team foul against Madagascar. 3:55 to go here in the fourth.
If you're Madagascar, got to regroup here. The game is not over. And these young players got to continue to fight to the end. It's been a struggle against this zone.
Well, Rija goes for a quick three. Offensive rebound, now going for the fadeaway. Loasoa battles for it. Gotta go straight up with it. Jump hook, no good. That goes out of bounds, but it's gonna remain Madagascar, but with 12 here on the shot clock.
And how long are we gonna see Kiati on the bench? You know, Rija has given them some good minutes, but I think you gotta go down with your leading scorer in the game.
Something tells me from that timeout he's favoring some sort of injury because he was wobbling on one leg. But a foul is going to be called against Loasoa. So tough one here for Madagascar. They were right in this one. Because you got to think, had he converted that tip and cut it down to a 5-point deficit, at that point Tunisia just went on that run, started knocking down tough three-pointers. Here's the man who's been giving them problems so far tonight, Manawi. He's got 25 points in the lane, bumps now, making 27 for Osama Manawi.
He's been outstanding here in the second half, and you see the offensive skills on display, not only knocking in the threes, but getting to the rim. And that's definitely unsportsmanlike.
Definitely the foul is called. Is it a case of maybe Citraka, Mahdi on the bench for too long? I mean, I'm just assuming by looking at Kiadi from that timeout, he was definitely limping when going over to the team talk. But you know, this was a very competitive game in the first minute of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Tunisia's gone on a nice run here. Obviously, we don't know if there's an injury, and that's what's keeping Kiadi on the bench. It's been a struggle for him this game, but he's had such big games in this tournament. You see, he's getting upgraded to an unsportsmanlike. That's definitely the right call.
Well, the upgrade has been made. So 2 free throws for, I believe it's going to be Jawadi. And Tunisia will get it back, so he's got a chance to extend it to a 20-point lead.
Lovasoa coming out of the game now. Gotta wonder, I mean, he's played big minutes, but just 3 minutes left here in your tournament. Only 21 years old. You probably want to see him finish this thing out.
Well, you can see Kiadi on the bench. He's getting some, it was a limp, but I don't know if there's something wrong with him, but clearly not sure if it had any impact on his productivity today, because it wasn't the best game for him, especially after that performance against Cameroon. Obata goes for a step back, 3 is up. That's going to be a very tough 2 minutes and 40 to go here for Madagascar. Through the corner, but maybe, but again, not a lot of time left. Another 3 for Ellie.
Well, that's the pace that's been missing, especially here in the fourth quarter. You know, nice kick ahead to the corner, and Ellie knocking down the big shot. Look to trap here a little bit, see if you can force a couple turnovers.
Obata takes his time, finds Jawadi. Final seconds, winding down. Then you hear trying to come for a screen. Jawadi's got to put up a circus shot. Rebound secured by Citraka. Jawadi goes in. That's a 5-0 run with 2:05 left. And a 15-point deficit. Tunisia still very much in favor. Timeout's been called, so the teams will go to the bench. But as you mentioned, Coach, the speed in the transition, that is definitely what's been absent today from Madagascar.
Well, they've really had a hard time finding those transition opportunities. The zone from Coach Marie, I think, slowing them down here in the second half. And you can just see all these players looking fatigued for Madagascar. I think, you know, their first tournament here, some of them logging big minutes in the previous games, not a lot of depth on that roster, and starting to wear them down here at the end of this game.
Well, Tunisia will be very happy to know, of course, that they're not going to be the first team to be 2-time champions to go winless in the group stage. But the test will only get tougher for them because, as mentioned, it's the top team in each group here in the AfroBasket that will automatically qualify for the quarterfinals. And we'll see that when Cameroon take on Nigeria after this. While the second and third place teams, they go into the play-ins, a round of 16, which will be a matchup to try and get to the quarterfinals.
Well, you know, every game's so important from here on out, and if you're Tunisia, you're finally finding a little life offensively. Marnawi coming alive, you know, Abada stepping up the way they needed. I liked what they've done with their bigs. I thought both Ben Yahia and Martini were bringing good minutes. So perhaps as they move forward, that's the lineup that they're going to go with when they get into these knockout rounds.
And of course, it's the old cliche, 3-point shooting makes a big difference, and it really has today for Tunisia. a much better improvement. 42% tonight for the Tunisians. They converted 8 out of 19. And had those three-point percentages been better in the last 2 games, Coach, who knows, it may have been closer games for them.
Well, it's been a struggle for them prior to this game.
Well, now he's been on fire tonight. He ain't cooling down, Coach. This man, 30 points this evening.
That is what he can do. We've seen just about everything from him. Tremendous game here. 21 points in the second half, so he has been on fire.
Marty Pumpigs gonna have to go for a three-pointer, but falling into the hands of Obata. And a huge response from the two-time defending champions. As now we're under 80 seconds to go here in the fourth and final quarter. Madagascar only 1 foul to give, but it's to no avail at this stage. Obata, gotta do something. Finds Jawadi. Gotta go for the fadeaway inside the paint. And he unable to finish. And it's all about pride now for Madagascar. 14 long years since 2011 when they had their last victory and last participation in the AfroBasket. Unfortunately, they'll go winless this time. Rejection by Ben Yahia, not allowing the three-pointer by Marty.
Well, some valuable minutes here for this young Madagascar team. So these guys are going to remember this moment. Hopefully building something special here. You saw the momentum start at the Under-19 World Championships. Players like Madi, Lovasolo, again, Marnawi putting on a show here. But
Coach, where's he been? Where has this man been? 33 points tonight. Where has he been?
Well, he's capable of these kind of games. You know, I've been saying it. He's a streaky scorer. Sees a couple go in, and it can flow from there. I mean, unbelievable second half. Certainly, I'm sure they wish they could spread some of those points through their other games, but they're going to need him to be a primary scorer moving forward. I think the two-headed monster there from Obata and Marnawi is probably their identity as they move forward in this tournament, and I like the change in the lineup. I think these double bigs have brought some energy and toughness to them, so I would expect to see this lineup start their next game when they get into the elimination rounds.
Well, Osama Marnawi tonight, 6 out of 9 from the three-point line. That was the 10th made three-pointer for Tunisia. And no doubt when they head to the play-ins, the round of 16, you said it. Omar Abada, Osama Marnawi, the double-headed monster. That is how they've got to go. But no doubt whoever they meet, that's going to be on their scouting report. Well, a big congratulations to the two-time defending champions. They live to fight another day here at the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. A huge response, a big victory that sees them remain in the competition. Well, no doubt, it was great to have Madagascar back. That big win they had in the qualifiers against Egypt. They came here, they played hard, but unfortunately, they just couldn't pick up a victory. And of course, they will go home.
Well, nice response here from Tunisia. Looking like the defending champs finally. It's been hard for them in this tournament, but finding a little bit of rhythm here in the second half.
Well, Abada was a part of those championship campaigns. Marnawi and him together combined total of 55 points this evening. But of course, they'll have one final game, and that will be in the play-ins. The Madagascar fans showing their appreciation. The Tunisian fans exhilarated to know their heroes have come here and they've dug deep. Hey, Coach, that was a fourth quarter turnaround in like, what, 6 minutes where they just played exceptional basketball.
Well, it looked like Madagascar was going to crawl their way back into this game, had cut it to 5 points, and then it just became the Marnawi show from there on out.
Well, collectively, they live to another day. They believe, they fought, and collectively, they got the victory. We knew coming into this game the winner would stay. Of course, it's going to be another exciting game as Nigeria will take on Cameroon. And the winner of that game, well, they won't need to go to the play-ins. They'll go directly to the quarterfinals. Exciting games ahead of us today here at the FIBA AfroBasket. You got to feel for this team. But no doubt, Coach, with the young elite talent they have, we'll see them back again.
Well, I think, it's always disappointing to end your tournament with a loss, but there's a lot of positive to build from. They were competitive in these games, and so many young players on that roster getting valuable experience here.
Well, there are your stats. Madawi, a game for the tournament, 33, 6 out of 9 from the perimeter. He was booking and cooking. As now we'll take a look at the highlights momentarily while the Tunisian players get those selfies with the fans who made the journey, the long journey here to Luanda, Angola. Well, running back the best highlights of the fourth quarter. I mean, coach, well pointed. They got it back to at least a 2-possession ball game, and then, you know, at some point you saw there was going to be a tip-in from Lovaso that would have made it a 5-point deficit, and then that is where Tunisia just took grasp of the game. Penetration by Ganouni, with the 3-point shooting by Madawi. That is going to be the overriding talk of the game.
Well, no question. You see a nice take there from Ganouni, and you know, he was another player to contribute. So 11 important points from him. I think it's got to be those 3 guys. They're the ones with the most experience on this national team. They've got to step up in these big moments.
And even Jawadi stepping in big in the dying seconds of that shot clock moment, hitting big plays. Obata in transition. Second leading scorer for Tunisia with 22. Remember, he had 5 rebounds and 5 assists, showing that imperative leadership that led his national team. Staben, coach, he hit some tough shots.
Well, once he gets going, he can be a problem. And I thought it was a really smart move from Coach Marie, getting him back into the game early in that fourth quarter, and that's where he erupted. So 16 points in that fourth quarter. You know, impressive performance.
Well, if Tunisia can continue to get production like this from him, if they can make at least, you know, 5 to 8 3-pointers in the next game, who knows, maybe they can crawl their way into the quarterfinals. But big win tonight for the 2-time defending champions. Well, fans, more games to come here at the FIBA AfroBasket. Cape Verde will be taking on Rwanda. That's taking place in Namibia. 5:30 local time, the battle for first place to get to the quarterfinals. While also the final game in Namibia, we'll see Congo DR take on Cote d'Ivoire. Well, myself, Josh Bett, and Coach Will Voigt, for now it's thank you, and we'll see you for the game between the Tigers and Cameroon.